In the heart of the dense, whispering forest, three friends, Alex, Jamie and Sam, pitched their tent, seeking a break from the ceaseless clamor of city life. Their laughter and the crackle of the campfire filled the air, blending with the chorus of nocturnal creatures. It was a perfect escape, a moment suspended outside the flow of their ordinary lives. Yet, for Alex, this trip was more than a mere escape, it was a pilgrimage of healing. Just months before, he had suffered a devastating loss. His sister, Emma, whom he cherished more than anyone in the world, had passed away in a sudden, tragic accident. Her death left a gaping void in his life, a pain so profound that Alex found himself adrift in a sea of grief, unable to find his way back to the surface. As the fire dwindled to embers, they retreated into their tent, yielding to the lullaby of the wilderness. The night was deep and silent, when Alex awoke to an unsettling emptiness. The comforting weight of his friend's presence was missing. His voice, calling their names, seemed to be swallowed by the darkness outside. The fabric of the tent offered no answers, only serving to amplify his growing unease. Stepping into the cool night, Alex's breath misted in the air, his eyes scanning the gloom for any sign of Jamie or Sam. The forest seemed different under the cloak of night, alive and watching. It was then he noticed a slender red thread, vibrant against the earth's dark palette, trailing into the woods like a silent invitation. Compelled by a mix of fear and determination, Alex followed the thread. The forest around him felt alive, its shadows dancing just beyond the reach of comprehension. Time seemed to distort, stretching each moment into infinity. Alex called out, but only his echoes returned, mocking his solitude. The thread led him deeper, weaving through the dense underbrush and ancient trees, as if charting a course known only to it. The night refused to end, a perpetual darkness that seemed to feed on his fear. Despite the terror that gripped him, Alex pressed on, driven by the hope of finding his friends, of understanding. Meanwhile, as morning painted the sky with hues of gold and pink, Jamie and Sam awoke in their tent, untroubled by the night's adventures. Their first thoughts were of Alex, but they found him lying still, his face serene yet unnervingly pale. Attempts to rouse him failed, sending a wave of panic through them. With haste born of fear, they carried him back to civilization, to a hospital where confusion deepened into despair. Alex was in a coma, his consciousness trapped in a realm beyond their reach. Back in the forest of perpetual night, Alex, unaware of his physical state, continued his surreal journey. The red thread, his only guide, led him to a cave mouth, an abyssal maw in the earth that promised answers or perhaps oblivion. Inside, the darkness was absolute, a physical presence that seemed to breathe along with him. Yet the thread glowed faintly, a beacon urging him forward. Through winding passages and echoing chambers, Alex followed the thread until he emerged into a chamber of light so pure and bright it was blinding. It was here, in this sanctum of radiance, that he found the end of the thread. It led to a loom, ancient and ornate, its design lost to time. Upon it, the thread was woven into a tapestry that depicted the forest, the cave, and Alex himself, a tiny figure standing at the edge of two worlds. In that moment of realization, the tapestry shimmered, and the scene shifted, revealing a path leading out of the cave, into a world bathed in light. Alex took a step forward, and with each step, the light grew, filling him, lifting the weight of the endless night. When Alex opened his eyes again, the world was a blur of white and beeping machines. Voices, familiar and filled with relief, penetrated the fog around him. He had awakened from his coma, 2 years lost to the world, but a single, endless night in his memory. His friends recounted the tale of his disappearance and the agonizing weight of hope dwindling with each passing day. Alex listened, his mind grappling with the reality of his journey. He spoke of the red thread, the cave, and the loom, of a night that stretched into eternity. They listened, disbelief mingled with the relief of having him back. In the days that followed, as Alex's body regained its strength, he pondered the meaning of his experience. The red thread had been his lifeline, a guide through the darkness, leading him back to the light. It was a thread of connection, of hope, binding him to the world, even as he wandered the shadowy forests of his own mind. The doctors offered explanations rooted in the science of comas and the mysteries of the brain, but Alex knew the truth of his journey. It was a tale of survival, of the soul's capacity to wander and return, guided by the thinnest of threads. As he stepped out of the hospital into the sunlight, the world seemed different, more vivid and alive. Alex knew he had been changed, marked by his journey in ways that words could never fully capture. The forest, the thread, and the light had become part of him, a story woven into the fabric of his being. And so, the three friends returned to their lives, carrying with them a tale of mystery and survival, a reminder of the thin veil that separates the known from the unknown. Alex, in particular, moved through the world with a new perspective, forever connected to the mysterious force that had guided him back from the brink, through the darkest night into the dawn of a new day. That's all, guys. What do you think of this story? Write in the comments. Thanks for listening, and bye.